Exactly.
Damn, son, this shit is crazy.
So when you ask like where do you get the drive to like do the stuff you do, I want to be able to I want to shake my idol's hands, but not in a sense where I'm coming off as a fan. I want to be able to, I want them to look at me like a formidable competitor.
Like an equal.
Like that, exactly. Like, yo, this little nigga got it, you know? And thank God that it was my, thank God that it was my doing of whatever I did that showed this guy to do this path. But that's my whole idea behind like, business moves, doing a podcast, everything. It's just like, I want to be able to see these people and let them know that they sparked something in me before they die, So Kobe's gone already. Nip is gone. King T'Challa, rest in peace to the Black Panther, Chadwick Boseman, But these people are slowly leaving us, and I'm trying to catch it, So we have to, I feel like, hurry up and get to where you say you're supposed to be, The world is waiting on you. That's something I tell myself on a daily, and it kind of scares me out of bed. I'll be like, yo, the world is waiting on you to say what you said you was going to do. So, all these people that you say you want to meet, they're waiting on you, and they ain't got the time. So you got to get up and get on it.
For sure. I'm going to stop you right there, do the intro. This is Chess Moves. Get your boy. And
welcome. I don't have a moniker yet, but y'all going to start calling me something.
Yeah, I gotta work on mine as well. I got a couple of AKAs and shit, but it's gonna be a little bit more fluid.
Yeah, but most people know me by my first name, Ismail. How are you? Welcome to the show. I got my sister here, Najata. She is young Jamie. If anyone listens to Joe Rogan, you should know that reference.
First things first, before we do anything, I would definitely like to take a moment of silence for Chadwick Boseman. Long live the king. May he rest in peace. All right.
But yeah, that right there is exactly why. Like, I feel like you have to beat yourself, beat your own expectation and beat your own time limits, because you say like, oh yeah, I'm gonna take my time, I'm gonna go to school, I'm gonna work this job, I'm gonna do this and that. But when things like this happen, and it don't have to be as dramatic as, the Black Panther, but people in your family want to live to see your success, your mother,
See, but I'm gonna ask you though, so it's like, all right, my question is, does anything motivate people for all of that? With everything you're saying right now, I agree with it, right? But my question is, would you be saying that if he did not die? So my question to you is, does anything motivate people to get off their ass other than death?
I mean, that's a hard one, to be honest, but I can't put it to anything else but that. And I'm gonna bring this back a little bit, because I would say death is the motivating factor in business as well. Like, that's why you want to live a lavish life now. I'm not gonna say lavish, but that's why you want to live a comfortable life now, is because you don't want to die and be like, yo, I worked hard for nothing, So it's really all it is, bro.
I mean, I feel like people get real into like their own quotes, and they get into real like, they start dropping they gyms and they lines.
Not people, Americans, bro. I feel like we're gonna get into the Americans in a second. Just give me a second. We're gonna get there. Just you know what I'm saying? We some quote dropping people.
Wait. But like, I'm saying, let me cook. Because that usually only happens when somebody dies. It's like in a Black family. You don't see
everything grandma's gonna say to make you feel better.
Of course, but not only that, you don't see anybody until either a funeral or a baby shower. So it's like, is this the only combining factor that we have as a people in order to join forces again?
No, because listen, that's why we're here doing this podcast right now, is because it's not a death or a funeral that will make y'all I mean, I don't know how to put this. Like, it's not gonna be a death or a funeral where y'all gonna figure out, all right, cool, this is how Ismail thought as a man, I read this somewhere, like, I have someone said it on Joe Rogan's podcast, but it was like, it's great to have a podcast because you want your children not to be able, or you don't want people to come up to your family and be like, I wonder what type of guy that was, you could watch it, So I want to be able to, over the next couple years, however long we do this, to be able to just put myself on footage, like this is like a diary, so to speak.
It's humanizing the myth.
Exactly.
My favorite thing about Kobe definitely was to talk about Kobe for a second. Rest in peace. It was just Kobe Day the other day, but my favorite thing was definitely people speak on.
This is gonna be really somber.
Yeah, but it's they talk about his work ethic, which is definitely his strongest attribute. But it bring me a certain type of joy to hear his interpersonal stories and how he was just rude and ruthless, and it's like, yo, like, yes.
Okay, so let's play devil's advocate for a second. So if Kobe worked so hard because he knew that he was gonna die in that helicopter crash, what is holding you back? So like, do you have to? I feel like if everyone knew what day they die, we'd all be on the money. You know, we'd all be working. We'd all be where we say we be. You know, if you want to be a nurse, you'd be a nurse. If you want to be a doctor, you'd be a doctor. Because you know, like, yo, I have how many years to do this, and it takes how long to get through that. You know, so if you knew the date, you'd be on the money. But it shouldn't take that. You know, so like they say, a wise man learns from it. I mean, a smart man learns from his own mistakes, but a wise man learns from the mistake of others. Right. So we watching all these other people leave, and that should be enough incentive for you to be like, damn, yo, let me get my shit together. Because like I said, you want to be able to live for the successes. And yeah, sure, you want to shake Nipsey's hand, but you want your mother to be there too, and to be like proud and be alive to shed the tears, and you know, see your children be born and stuff like that.
So you say you want to shake Nipsey's hand. You want to shake his hand for what? What do you want him to shake your hand for? You keep saying, you know, a lot of the times you bring up, you want your idols to look at you and think certain things. What is it that you want them to see?
The spark, that's all it is. Like, yo, bro, if I put you on to something right now and you walk away and never see me again, and like you walk into the best life that you could have based off the information I gave you, like, yo, this stranger put me on and they didn't have to, you know? Mm-hmm. So, I mean, yeah, he's an artist. I don't want to use Nipsey a lot too much because he's already passed, but I'm talking more like, you know, my mentors today, like Dave Anderson, Derek Grace, you know, he really like, because he looks like us, you know. Derek Grace is like closer to our age, you know.
Right.
But he took a big risk in all them tattoos, so to me it's like, I want to shake my idol's hands. One thing I shout out to Noriega, he does this on his podcast too. He says, I want to give you your flowers while you're here. Right. So one, I'm working hard because if y'all gave me this drive, then I want to show you that it really means something, you know? It's like you wasn't just talking just to talk. Like, especially, my mentor says that you should, if you only have one viewer on your Facebook Live, keep talking, you know? It's not about that viewer. It's not about the people who's watching. It's about who's gonna watch this later. You know?
Right, for sure.
And especially just to know that, yo, it's not, I don't care if no one's watching me right now, I'm gonna still say what I have to say. Like, if you're in the middle of a rant, and you stop talking because all your viewers left, do you really care about what you're saying at all, really? No. You know?
See, but that's the instant gratification that people get from speaking and public speaking in general. Everybody's after that instant gratification, so that a lot of the times those rants, they come off and you let it sit and marinate, and you're not saying anything. You said a whole lot of nothing.
But that's why, like, I feel like this is another reason why we're doing this show, is because I'm trying to take Facebook posts and conversations and arguments and turn them into real discussions. Like, let's really talk about it, you know? Like,
all right, so one of the things that I talked about the other day was George Floyd and how his death, and in his death, he's done way more than he could have ever possibly achieved. Not to say that his talent
life,
was
but
limited.
Don't get too ahead of yourself, because why do only black people do more in death than they could in life? Like, I'm here to show you what I'm capable of doing in life, and then I'm gonna die and still be lit.
I mean,
too.
but I never limited to black people though. Like that's martyrdom. That's martyrdom. Look at Che Guevara.
I asked Drake this question the other day, and I'm gonna ask you. Derek Grace says there's casualties to every war, right? Mm-hmm. Why are we the only ones dying? So I'm gonna put it to only black people for that. Like, why are we the only ones like, oh yeah, my life was alright, but you know, I died for such a cause. Like, nah, I want to live for a cause. Like,
I agree.
People, like I say, people like, it's your words are real important. Like when people say, till death do us part.
That's a fact.
Like, or I'll die for you. Like, no, I want to live for you. You get what I'm saying? I want to be the best version of myself for you. I don't want to like go to the club and get into a fight because somebody stepped on your shoe and I'm showing them my fealty for you, and therefore I put my life on the line for something as simple as that. I want to be able to assess risks and be like, yo, it's not worth it. I know what I'm capable of and what I'm about to do for my family. If I fight this person right now, you know, it'll ruin generations to come, you know? So
absolutely.
There's a whole, like the whole Romeo and Juliet idea of dying for your love, or Drake right now, as much as I love him, you know, putting that.
To be fair, they're white. To be fair, they're white.
Come on, son.
It's because you brought up the plight of us in America, and you asked me why are we the only ones dying. We're the only ones dying because we have the loudest voice right now. We're the ones who are unhappy. You know, so we're gonna have to be the ones dying. It's always casualties in every war, just like you said. But that's here. We're here.
Again.
Go ahead.
So remember, I told you, you're like, yo, bro, I don't think you realize how big you are, like how you come off to other people, your stance, your aggression.
You're imposing.
Exactly. You said, I don't think you realize that. And I'm like, well, I'm just assessing the room. I'm just trying to protect myself. I don't realize that I'm coming off as, you know, standoffish to other people. I don't think black people realize how we come off to America.
We shouldn't have to. You see, the thing is that we shouldn't have to make ourselves more approachable or make ourselves more
I'm not
friendly
saying
or make, you see what I'm saying? But it's like for you to say that. And I told you that not.
I'm saying be aware for yourself. Know that you at war.
Yeah, but why?
Because if people are just randomly dying in the room, then that's one thing. But you know where that issue is coming from, you know? And so for us not to react or be like, oh, well, you know, if we do it, then we'll be exactly what they'll say we are. We'll be the brutes or, you know, the barbaric people that they say we are. Like, nah, bro. I feel like you got to get a point across, you know, like in that movie we watched.
So why do you have to wake up every day and go up out of you have to go out of your way to make yourself more human? You hear the absurdity in that shit? That doesn't make any sense. You have to do things now. You can't just wake up and go to the store. You got to make sure that you look a certain way before you go to the store. That's exactly what you're saying.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
What you saying?
I'm saying be aware of it. Know that this is how people are looking at you, and even if you're not going to get up and change, just know that if you don't, there are repercussions. Like I said, there is repercussions to everything you do, and I'm not telling anybody to change, bro. Please, I don't want you to think that I'm telling us to assimilate because, I mean, this is our shit, you know?
Right.
You know? So all I'm saying is just know of be aware of your surroundings, know what's going on.
All right, so let me ask you a question.
You
So
know?
what change have you made with yourself waking up that you like, I realize my stance, I realize my height, I realize my frame. I can no longer do this no more because I may be perceived as a threat. Something for you personally.
I try to speak. I try to like, you know, introduce myself when I walk in the room because I'm like, you know, I'm quiet. I'm the New York guy. Like I'll assess and I'll wait. But I realize that, you know, you already look scary enough, you know. Show your teeth, you know, say hi. So I mean, that's one change I made, but if we talking about culturally, like one change I've made to where I'm noticing my position in America is like I made sure to not assimilate, you know, like I did it for a little bit, and if you look back on my Facebook, you'll see it. Like I put the suit on, you know, I did the tie, I cut my hair, you know,
took the pictures.
I had my way. Exactly, you took the pictures, but it's like now I want y'all to know that I know what I'm talking about, and the suit is not the qualifying factor, you know? It's the fact that I know what I'm talking about. Just that, you know? I can tell you that I know, and I shouldn't have to pre-qualify that with all these other things.
Yeah, that's.
But I mean, and you asked the question, and I want to touch on it too. Mm-hmm. Like, what else is giving me the drive? I mean, if Nip died last year, you talking about George Floyd, today is the 1st of September, and I mean, George Floyd is old news. We talking about Jacob Taylor right now.
Jacob Blake,
excuse me, who got shot, 7 times in his back? And in the same weekend, you have Kyle Rittenhouse who, like, bro, it's like, you can't make this shit up. You can't make this shit up. So another thing Derek Grace talks about is being able to financially back your war. Because one of my favorite shows, what is it? Game of Thrones? Mm-hmm. Who were the richest family in Game of Thrones?
The Lannisters.
And what did they spend most of their money on?
The army.
Exactly. This is war. Like, you know, why is America one of the top nations in the world? Even though we're not making the most money right now.
Yeah.
Where do we put our focus?
I feel, I gotta stop you right there. I feel like when we say that America's the greatest country in the world, that's a positive affirmation. That's like you telling yourself you are a good husband.
It's like
you are a good man. Who believes that?
And Donald Trump does it.
You see what I'm saying? But like for us to say that, it's like every time we say that, like, oh, America's the best country, we are the best this.
I mean,
it's like, yo,
I'm going to continue to say it because I'm here.
Right, of course, you have to.
I'm going to continue to say it because,
subjectively,
you know, it's
you
where
have to
I'm
be.
from.
Right.
But I'm gonna talk shit because this is my house. You get what I'm
Of course,
saying?
but that's what I'm saying though. Like we can talk shit but then you got to step outside and be like, all right, my neighbors wasn't lying. It is dirty as hell in here. It is, you know what I'm saying? There's absolutely no,
Yeah,
absolutely
but
no
I don't need my
self-reflection being
neighbors to
done.
tell me that it's dirty in this house, bro.
Because you're aware of that.
Exactly.
Now where's the awareness? Where's the self-reflection going on right now? It's like America's favorite thing in the entire country is what? Serial killers. There's a new serial killer documentary popping out every day, every week. There's old stuff. That John Benet Ramsey.
The overlooked.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like there's actual
the
events.
whole bully concept of vengeance and getting.
It's actual things that's happening right now that needs to be touched up on. But America's releasing a new Ted Bundy movie. We don't need another one. We don't need another one.
Bro, I to this day don't know the whole Ted Bundy story, and I don't care because it's probably like any other Netflix documentary of some white dude being mad at his girl or having somebody else, you know.
There's multiple more layers of sadism
alpha male. Exactly,
in
like,
there. But
that movie,
that's the gist
what's
of it.
American Psycho? I've never seen it. Like,
I
get it.
You should check it.
I mean, I probably will for like studying purposes, but like, it's the traditional American story of the guy that's like, you know what, I'm gonna show them, you know? And I'm just trying to take it and tweak it a little bit because, like we said, you'll never see a black guy star in that movie, you know? But we always the first ones to die in our horror
White
films,
privilege
you know?
is stronger than Starbucks Wi-Fi.
Bro,
I realize that, man.
I want Jordan Peele to cast a regular movie. Because black people have enough fear going on. We have enough shit to be scared of. I'm dead ass, bro.
I gotta
I'm not
disagree
saying
with
he's
you.
doing anything
I gotta
fucking wrong.
disagree
I
with
like
you.
his movies.
Right, but I gotta disagree with you.
I'm gonna fucking pitch him on a happy-go-lucky. I'm gonna pitch him on some shit where nothing bad happens at the end. Like, we're gonna do a black Ferris Bueller's Day Off, you know? Because we fucking need it, bro. I need me a pick-me-up right now, bro. I'm telling you, man.
we have
shit ain't hitting like it used to,
We have
man.
black, fairy tales? That's a fairy tale. Ferris Bueller's not even, come on, like, okay, granted this.
We need it, though. Ferris Bueller does it for the culture. White people love that man. I don't get it. I like the movie, too. It's all right. But they love that movie, bro. You know why? Because if you fucking feeling like
No,
shit
I don't know why.
on a Friday night, you can watch that movie and know that at the end, nobody's dying.
I get that same thing from Friday, though,
You know?
son. It's triumph.
Yeah,
he
but-
beat D, but that was metaphorical. That was like
Yeah, but that's
diabetes.
Bro, I'm not trying to have to put my fists up, you know? Like, bro, there's a
And get knocked
Debo
out like your pops
in my
used to?
life for real.
Yeah.
Like, we all have a Debo. When you put that movie on, I get scared for real. Like,
That's
it's
a
not,
fact.
I'm not, I mean, Friday is like, you
It's not a
know?
game, Craig.
Yeah, it's real life.
That's
Like,
a
we've
fact,
been
yeah.
there. That's why I said I want a happy-go-lucky movie, because I want something that looks like a fucking fairy tale to us. Like, something we've never fucking experienced, which is total fucking American bliss, bro. We don't know what the fuck that means. It doesn't exist yet.
So if you was to chop up a movie right now, and I'm gonna say even
make it
flip
my
it.
own?
Yeah, all right, well, I was gonna say flip the race, but yeah, go ahead, make it your
I
own.
mean, shit, after Ferris Bueller's Day Off, you got to give me one and let me cook.
All right, I'm gonna say the Breakfast Club kind of had a problem in it. It was let me see. Teen Wolf?
The show or the movie?
The movie.
The 1984 version? That was a good one. But I mean, that movie, even though it was played by a white character, is the black plight.
Explain.
Of you know, you have to, that's assimilating. You know, I'm gonna put my human form on. I'm gonna put my high school leatherman on. I'm gonna go to school and I'm gonna maintain this monster. I'm gonna try to hold it in as much as possible.
Wow.
Bro, that's the black plight. We don't have to make a black version of that. It's already, Teen Wolf is,
It's already black.
it's already black.
Okay. You might have did something. All right, man. So I wanna open this up now and bring your our guest on.
You wanna bring our guest on? Our guest don't even care to be here, bro.
She's coming.
So we want to talk to you about how you feel about what motivates black people today. Because I feel like we talked about it earlier. He said it's only death or fear, you know. Actually,
you know what? I'm gonna rephrase that question. So, what factors do you think are playing? Specifically, you know, I'm gonna do I'm not even gonna name drop this kid, but the shooter that killed people. What factors aside from skin do you feel impacted and that's impacting him right now as to like how he's being treated? Because he's not getting treated how we are getting treated. How would you say?
It's just white privilege. That's it. there's no other factor, there's no other explanation. It's white privilege, capitalism. It's embedded in America's history. So.
Damn, yo, and I don't really want white privilege and capitalism to be synonymous with each other, because if we just figure out, like I said, be aware and figure out that a game is being played here, then capitalism can, all the fruits of capitalism can be just as beneficial for us. And then once you level the playing field like that, to where now we all got the same amount of money in our pockets and now we all know it's a game and now we can all play fairly, then it's a whole different ball game, you know?
I want to ask you again. So we just talked about the beloved Chadwick Boseman and the movie Black Panther. So how did you feel like the movie? How did you feel the movie let Africa be shown? How do you feel it showed Africa in that light?
R.I.P. Chadwick Boseman.
Speak up.
Compared to the way Africa was perceived in the media before Black Panther. Not even just before Black Panther, just in general.
Which was only like death.
Yeah, death.
My favorite movie, Hotel Rwanda, even though it was a great movie, we only see dictators or famine.
Civil War, a whole lot of,
Last King of Scotland.
Destruction within the African continent. So I feel like Black Panther really showed the true value of, being from Africa and everything. Everyone was like, yo, I want to go to Wakanda. It wasn't just, oh, they're starving kids, pay $1 a day. No, it was like everybody.
Do y'all have
African.
houses?
Yeah.
What?
Would you have added anything?
I feel like it was a masterpiece within itself. I wouldn't want to change anything. Aside from, that fake accent, but that's another story. I really did enjoy the movie.
Yeah, those accents were terrible, bro. I mean, we actually speak French or other languages from, besides English. And bro, he don't sound like he was from any country. He sounded like he was actually from Wakanda, which doesn't exist. You get what I'm saying? But yeah.
All right, let me see. I've heard that, I hear a lot of conversations about we should stop doing black superheroes and focus more on just actual black historical figures. Like not superheroes, like no more Black Panther, no more Black Lightning, no more Static Shock. They want to do like actual like Marcus Garvey movies. How do you feel about that?
I feel like no matter what it is, as long as we're bringing Black people to light in any type of movie, whether it be superhero,
Accurately.
Yeah, without pain and suffering, because a lot of the Black films that we see, they always have to have, Shout
out to Tyler Perry.
Yes.
Jesus.
Extreme, like all the movies are
That was
so
sarcasm,
dramatic.
by the way.
Okay.
I mean, we're going to talk about it eventually. No, because
we got to do like an
talked
episode about
before.
just black cinema. Like,
yeah,
honestly, we
and
really do.
As a photo guy, we'll get to that.
Yeah, we have to.
There's more to Black history than just the suffering and the pain.
And then drowning everything in Christianity. That's not the answer, Tyler Perry. It's not the answer. Christian? I don't know. I don't need. He doesn't have to be, because he's cracked the code that it's marketable. This is killing me. Every time there's a problem in a Tyler Perry movie, what do they say? They say to pray.
Sing and somehow the problem is solved. I don't get it.
With prayer and cornbread. That's not true. That's not true, Tyler Perry. You got to cut that out. It's not. That's not the. And it's unfortunate. Because,
and you know what? One more thing I want to talk about as Black people is that we should be allowed to be critical of each other and not get written off, right? Because I've been talking to y'all about wanting to talk about that brand Telfar, which is a Black brand that we trying to put our money behind, and we trying to put our money, we're trying to we had the whole rant with Gucci that happened last year when they made that blackface assimilation sweatshirt. Yeah. And so I find a Black brand that I really want to put my money behind, a high-end fashion brand. And bro, they delivered a message that said basically like, your bag will come when it comes. Don't email us about, shipping or none of that. Like,
so as a matter of fact, so let me ask you, because me and you have very similar, because I boycotted Gucci's ever since then too. I haven't bought anything from Gucci, and I'm not going to. I think I also realize that I need us to also realize that we have a lot more worth with the value of our dollar than perceived. It's like, if you think about this, when we wear Gucci, right? I got you. when we wear Gucci, it's we're looking at people at VMAs, at red carpets wearing Gucci. White people wear Gucci, of course, too, but it's never the way or in the manner of which we do it in.
Yeah,
it's never like they do it subtly. It'll be a white T-shirt and it's regular and real plain, but
no,
you'll
but see,
find out
that's
it's
my
Gucci
thing.
after that.
The
But
Telfar brand, that's why I'm like really hot about this. It's a subtle brand. It's not about being out there and being loud, but it's a high-end black fashion brand.
Yeah.
And to get that message from them to be like, yo, like we don't care if you worried about shipping. Like, to me, if I'm gonna pay a certain price for an item, I expect it to be here within a certain amount of time. And so if we're wanting to get away from the Gucci's and the Louis and the Christian Dior's, then they deliver their products on time. If you
This is
order
an
it,
American black company.
It's a black company. That's the thing, and that's why I'm being so critical, because if we want us to spend black, then we have to be professional. Like, that's what we always make this joke about the Jamaican spots not having the beef patties, or them not having jerk chicken or nothing like that. But that shouldn't be a joke when it comes to black businesses.
so let me
We
ask
should be punctual. We should
Absolutely.
We should be better than who we are trying to replace, essentially.
Absolutely. So why is there a disconnect? Why is there a disconnect between blacks and Africans, especially in America? Like, why is there a disconnect for that?
Why'd you wait to the end of the show? You see she over here rolling her eyes and shit. I think there's a disconnect because
I want you
like
both
I
to
told
answer.
you, and I'm gonna let her answer too, but I want to get this out. Hopefully we're not going over in time, but I think there's a disconnect because we only want to share suffering. We don't want to share successes, right?
I feel like
Let me finish.
I'm sorry. I feel like y'all blame us.
We don't blame y'all for anything. They might
For
have
being
before.
here.
My parents used to talk crazy, and older Africans do talk crazy about Americans as if we're not all one. But yeah, that's an aspect. We older Africans used to talk shit. We would look at ourselves as holier than thou. But one of my black friends recently, and I'm not even gonna say her name, told me, and it happens a lot when it's beneficial. Like, oh, you're not black, you African. You can't sit
I hear
at
that.
this table.
I've been told that.
Bro, I'm one of the darkest people I know. Like, I'm literally a black sheep. Like, you don't know how much like skin and tones really played a factor into my life. So for me to be told that I'm not black enough,
And who told you that?
I'll tell you.
An American.
I'll tell you offline.
That's fine. I'm talking about an American
But yeah.
black person said that.
Yes, we know.
I want to kind of get your opinion on that.
Okay, so reiterate your question.
Basically, why do you guys blame us? Why is there a disconnect between?
I don't feel that we as Africans blame African Americans. It's not y'all fault. We didn't bring y'all here. The only thing, like, when it comes to diversion between the two groups is how everyone took it. When we were younger, Black Americans made our lives hell for being
African booty scratcher.
I'm
Booty
guilty of that
scratcher.
shit too. I'm
And
apologize.
that
Just
made us
Yeah.
feel like,
In-
you feel me?
Yeah, and that's why
Broadly.
I don't hesitate to hit you with the net shirt jokes, you Caribbean. Because I know you're gonna die in one of those, but we're gonna get to that.
shout out
We're all the
TNT.
same. Like, me personally, I don't like to separate, like, we're all black, point blank, period, end of the day.
Right.
We're not gonna ask you, are you from this country, from that country, we all black.
Bro, if
That's
you
not,
ask a
that's
white
not gonna stop a
person-
bullet, man.
A white person doesn't know that I had that genuine confusion of what to put on applications. Like, am I African American? Am I black?
Yeah.
Like, do I put other and right Ivorian, but I was really born here? Like, I don't know what the fuck to do.
I think you just ask yourself, if this was the 1930s, would I be in the fields or not? Simple.
Wow.
The 1630s.
And that's
the
not even that
17
long ago.
Like,
The
yeah,
like,
that's. So matter of fact, I'm asking you again. So my I guess to wrap this up, do you being here, this is for you too.
mm-hmm.
Do you feel black or do you feel African?
I am black.
I was gonna tell her that shouldn't be a question to ask about the 1930s. Ask that question today. If a black person gets pulled over versus if we were to get pulled over, do we get treated any different?
No.
Absolutely not. So, I mean,
I got you. I watched a couple of videos about expatriates in other countries, specifically, well, obviously black people, in like Belize and Bolivia and Colombia and everything like that. How do you feel? Matter of fact, you guys are Ivory Coast, correct? Right? Okay, so
We're
how
Ivorian.
Ivorian.
Yeah, we're not Ivory Coastian as most
I
people would
wasn't
say.
even gonna, whatever.
Hey, man.
He's so touchy. You're so touchy.
Ivory Coastian. Bro. I've heard that before.
I didn't even want to go there.
I saw you, bro. You was
Okay,
like half a
it's
second.
an ignorance because we're not taught we're taught everything else that, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I understand. I feel
so,
like, but outside of school, you need to teach yourself.
well, yeah, we're 10 years now removed from school and the BS that they push us. So to have the
And
internet
I'm learning
now,
every day, bro.
yeah, to have the internet now and still think that you're going out of your way to be ignorant. You know what I'm saying?
Surprised.
It's
There are
ridiculous.
people who, like, black
But
Americans don't
but
know a
even with
single
that, like,
thing.
look at how like America's embraced African culture, just it's like with the music and with
Afrobeat. But see, let me tell you a real quick story about like literally how much we're ingrained in suffering. Like I remember one time I was in boot camp and I go get breakfast. You know how they used to chef it up in there, ask you what you want on your breakfast on weekends. So this African American lady, I don't even want to say it like I'm not part of the group, you know, but she's making eggs and she goes, "What do you want on your, omelet?" And I'm like, "Oh, I just want vegetables. I don't eat pork." And bro, you would have thought I called her a bitch or something. Like she was like, "Wait, you don't eat pork? What's wrong with pork? I eat pork. My mother eat." We getting into the pig feed and the
stuff you didn't
all
ask
that.
for. I asked for an omelet, not a lecture.
Why do I have to defend myself right now?
No, I understand.
You get what I'm saying?
I get it. When I had recently cut well, not recently now, but when I had first cut pork and red meat out of my diet, everybody that I told,
You might as well said you was.
Are you Muslim? Yo, if my name was Joe Perry, would you be asking me these questions? Wow. If my name was Kyle Rittenhouse, would you be asking me these questions? Like, why does it have to be a spiritual or religious thing? We're gonna bleep that out. I'm gonna edit that in post. I'm gonna bleep that.
Let's leave it there because we shouldn't edit it out because we always trying to be correct and not ruffle any feathers. Ruffle the feathers one good time so that you'll never have to do it again.
I just don't want to mention this motherfucker's name.
Let's be that phoenix, bro. Like I'm such a sacrificial lamb. Like, bro, I feel like Coretta knew her man was selfish in that aspect to where he's like, "Yo, I could care less about this relationship. If you're gonna put it up against the cause." Like, I love you, but, And so I feel like every black person really tells themselves, like, it's not on me to start the revolution. Who am I, Malcolm? Who am I, Martin?
Why can't you be?
You are.
Yeah.
You are. And you should be.
Yeah.
You should be Malcolm, and you should be Martin, and you should look at yourself in that regard, so...
I think we've got a lot more leaders to even look at aside from those two. Like those two brothers, in every sense of the word, they deserve and they've worked for and died for every mention, every name drop that they get. But there's a lot of other people that's been charging.
They should be able to
They've been
rest.
charging. Exactly.
Like, yo, at some point, it's been, 60, we were talking about the civil rights movement.
Years,
so it's been damn near 60 years.
Right.
And nobody's like, "Yo, Unc, I got this. Y'all did y'all thing. We got it from here." I mean, the closest thing we seen to that was Dr. Umar Johnson, and Black Twitter is giving him hell right now.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna say it. He's a charlatan. With everything. I'm taking it there.
Wait. Umar did his thing in the beginning, bro. He was the only one that was doing it.
All right, I'm gonna let you go.
It was him and them dudes on 125th, bro. Them niggas on Holland on 125th just screaming at people, bro. It was him. They were the only ones that was giving knowledge, bro.
Look, I don't care. That time is come and gone. We had a conversation today. Don't let your reputation be the reason why you slacking right now.
Don't let because I did this and that be the reason why,
You know what I'm saying? Why would you become complacent?
If anybody ever calls you out on something and you start listing your resume as to why you shouldn't be held accountable right now.
You lost. So that's what I'm saying. Like with all of the momentum that everything's happened in the last couple of weeks and months, if Umar Johnson had an actual cause, where's the school first and foremost? If he had something that he was actually standing behind,
this is not gonna turn into where's the school video. Come on.
It doesn't have to be because it's already out
there.
Bro,
you gotta understand that people are trying to block your blessings. Like he's not crazy. Bro, think about it. Why is every black genius made out to be a psychopath at a certain point, Like, bro, if the dude slept with a stripper, that's cool. He be dropping gems. Like, he's really trying to change your children's lives. He really don't have to care about your son. He really don't have to care about your black son or daughter.
He
could put his children on and leave it at that.
That's a fact. He can. And I listen to some of the things he says, and I
Y'all
don't agree with a
gave
lot
that
of
man
it.
$1, and look how black people holding him accountable. Where's this? Where's that? Jesus Christ.
Because because you have to,
Bro.
You
so
just
you telling me
said you just said why do we have to why can't we criticize our own people and not be written off? We're doing exactly what you just said. We're criticizing our own, and now you're writing us off because it hasn't happened yet. Look, and I understand everything takes time. People are gonna block your blessings.
Bro,
there's too many avenues.
Don't hire me to do a job, and then the next day ask me for the product. Let me work. Let me do my thing. You get what I'm saying? Like, how many people have blindly actually, signed up their child for Dr. Umar's really, schooling or homeschooling or something along those lines until we get to the school, Like, bro, we quick to roast, bro. That's what I'm saying. We quick to, like, that's what I'm saying. I had this conversation with you before. I don't want to be the dude that's like, why? Oh, I don't like that. Mm-hmm. Oh, he's scamming. Oh, I don't, Like, black people are those type of people.
We are.
Like, I don't want to be the person that just, like, ignorantly rejects something, rejecting it because of my ignorance. Like, I want to reject it because I know everything about it and I know it's a scam,
Okay,
And we haven't gotten our feet wet enough in anything really to just be writing people off left and right. Like, Umar, like, come on.
So you don't.
It's either him or who.
So
right
you don't.
now.
Sean King. Wait, is he black?
Oh, Jesus.
We gotta put
Christ.
that. We gotta put
Jesus
that to bed.
Christ.
Is he?
The fact that we are even having this conversation right now.
All right.
Come on.
It's not the Black Lives Matter movement. Oh, I'm taking it there.
I know it's bullshit.
I'm taking it there.
It's bullshit.
It's
damn near like it's a political party to an extent. Like, it's like if we were politicians, but we had gang in the streets that's gonna fuck shit up for us if we asked them to. So it's really people that's playing behind the scenes that we don't know a lot about, but every time it's the people in the streets that's taking all the blame. So I'm here and there on BLM.
BLM has been now active since the Trayvon Martin shootings, if I'm correct. And I've seen or heard nothing, no influences, no name drops. I've heard I heard Jay-Z. He bailed out more people during that Ferguson protest than BLM has at all.
BLM is just Al Sharpton's love child. Al Sharpton just shows up for all the fuck ups. He's at every funeral.
So we're talking about
he's at every march. That nigga was, come on, son.
Try not to use the N-word, man, especially not on this podcast. I'm trying, man. I'm trying.
We're gonna get there. We're gonna grow
baby
in
steps.
front of the camera.
I understand.
But yeah, I mean, I be getting hot about certain things. Like,
you should.
Al Sharpton is Black Lives Matter.
Personified.
Exactly.
Personified.
He's here for everything, but when it's time to actually, I mean, I haven't done enough studying on him to say that he doesn't do anything, but I mean, bro, do you know how fast things would change if we were actually like put things in
cohesive?
place?
Yeah, I agree.
At the same time, you can't tell me you've been for the cause for 40 years, 60 years, bro.
Yeah.
Like, bro, Martin got his point across and then they killed him. Like, it didn't take him that long to make shit shake. You get what I'm
that's
saying?
probably why Al is so quiet, though.
Because you're fearful of losing your life? Bro,
I didn't say that's a good reason, but that's his reason. He's probably looking at like all of the pain and the despair.
I mean, at this point, you had your fun, bro.
I mean, he's taking selfies in the bathroom.
I'm not saying
he's got other things to do. I'm just throwing that out there.
Bro, all I'm saying is if you're gonna tell me like, hey, if you're gonna walk down this path, at some point someone might try to take your life for your people, will you still do it?
Yeah,
absolutely.
We have an obligation.
And so I feel like that question has been posed to Mr. Sharpton indirectly, and he's still like, hey, what you doing this week?
We have an obligation to not only ourselves but to our people. If you have a gift or you have a talent or you have a skill in any type of way, you have an obligation to
let it be known.
To us to use that gift. And you have to bring it back, yo. You have to. Everybody's not from the hood, so I'm not gonna say go back to the hood and change lives, but you have to pay it back to your people. We all have an obligation. Dues, if you're an athlete, because I don't like to use athletes a lot because whatever. But if you like everybody's fight is not on the front lines.
Yeah, your plight is not gonna be in front of a camera. It's not gonna be in front of a mic.
It's not. But at the same time, you are responsible for making a little bit of change in any type of organization that you're a part of, any type of club, any type of job, any type of government, anything. You have an obligation. We all have this
um,
obligation. Hang on, because you have kids. So you have an obligation now to your kid too, but I have no children yet. You know what I'm saying? So when that day comes.
So your obligation, it doesn't matter if you don't have something tangible. Nigga, you still have family. You still have a mother that's working.
More importantly,
you
son.
still have
More
people that's looking up
importantly,
to you. You got a little brother.
More important, exactly. More importantly, you have to bring these kids into a world worth living in.
Bro, I have a Dostoevsky. He's a philosopher of some sorts from way back when. He says that every man essentially is responsible for every other man and all actions therein and thereafter. It's a much better quote, eloquently, written if you guys read it.
In Russian?
But basically, what the quote says is that, you're responsible for every decision you will ever make and how it affects everyone it will ever affect.
Absolutely.
And that's very daunting, and it's scary to be like, damn, yo, like I gotta think about everything I do.
But why would it be scary though?
Because, bro,
the urge, but the urge to just do stupidity.
like I said, Americans, I'm being a dumb American, just saying like dumbass quotes like ignorance is bliss. That doesn't really mean anything, Like you should be held accountable at all times. If after you like walk and talk like most animals, like you on your own.
Let me ask you a question. Can you be pro-black and date white?
So my shorty's Puerto Rican, and I feel like
you
bro, I'm teetering that line already for black women. Like, bro, you should see the looks I fucking get. And I'm gonna just say it's only because, I grew up in New York City around Spanish people and they showed me love. And they've been
cultural.
our brothers in arms.
Yeah.
And hey bro, you love what you love, but that's another stupid
I
American.
didn't ask you that question. I asked you, can you?
What was the question? See, look, black women behind the camera right now, like,
you felt so guilty.
Yo, bro, they waiting for this answer. I'm like,
my son's Puerto Rican. She's good. She's not Italian, I promise.
I'll be having it. She's not Arabian. She's not.
She do look a little.
Listen, bro.
She could pass for.
Bro, they confuse that shit all the time, but it's cool. Can you be pro-black and date white? Dr. Umar says if you are anything but blue-black, you can't work at my school. And bro, honestly, I don't think you could do it, bro. I don't think you could do it.
Oh wow. Wow.
You answer the question, bro. Don't leave yourself out of this. I don't want to be the only one getting torn up after this.
I'm dating a white girl right now.
Okay. I hate you.
Nah, absolutely not.
I'm not gonna say you aren't genuine if you do it, but your credibility is shady. My credibility, I'm holding on for dear fucking life. Like, and bro, like I don't understand how I have any like contentions when it comes to race at all. Being like one of the blackest dudes I knew.
Yeah.
And shit, them jokes told me growing up. So like, I mean, I don't get how any decision I make now questions my, fealty to my people. But I mean, shit, you could ask me that same question. And to me, it's like, if you're willing to question your credibility for it, go for it. Whatever makes you happy, you know? But like I said, it's gonna be a fight, It's gonna be a fight.
I think
if you want to have that conversation with your people, then go for it, But I mean, if you want to make this easier on yourself, obviously, you'll want to go the other way.
It's for me. If the question is brought up as to your the people you decide to procreate with and all of that stuff, they have to that person will be reaching because they'd have to know you to an extent to target that specifically.
And it's like, bro, we teeter in a very dangerous line here. I mean, Drake has a baby by a white girl, but we're not writing him off completely.
Oh,
Frederick Douglass.
Aubrey.
Yes.
Okay.
Frederick Douglass, in his later days, ended up marrying a white woman. After the woman that stood by him and was tried and true passed away, he ended up marrying a white woman, which is besides the point. But like I said, does it tarnish your record? Depending on what you've done, If it was a regular Joe Schmo, if you just live your life and it's like, oh, that's that dude that married that white girl. But if you Frederick Douglass, that's not even a known fact. I didn't know that.
I had to hold that down and be like, oh yeah.
Same way we're shaking our head at Drake and all these other dudes.
Drake's not Frederick Douglass. Drake's not even close to Frederick Douglass.
All right, Jesus.
How has Drake?
Listen.
Wait till that
what he
10-minute wrap
said.
up.
What he
Wait till that
said.
10 we're not giving.
I used to get teased for not being black, and I get. He said I used to get teased for being something, but now I'm not black enough.
Okay.
Because I'm not acting tough or making stories up about where I'm actually from. You get it? Like that man can never do enough. That man can never do enough. But we're not gonna get into that right now.
Thank you. With his Caucasian child. Like I was saying. So all right.
Whose
so
white baby is this? I think of that every time, bro. Whose white baby
Caucasian
is this?
child. All right. So I guess I think that's a good question. Does the choices you make in later life destroy your credibility if you've dedicated everything to the
Bro,
cause?
if you put your life on the line for the cause, how dare you tell me I'm not what I've identified my whole life around, you know? But I mean, bro.
Listen, there's a movie coming out right now.
We need a black woman's perspective on this. Holla at me.
We do.
What exactly?
Can you be for the cause and be outside your race?
Matter of fact, how do you feel? Let me ask you, how do you feel if there's a black male activist speaking out and you find out he's married to a white girl?
The same way I felt when I found out Jordan Peele has a white wife. The same way I felt when the girl from Queen and Slim has a white husband.
What's his name? Donald Glover.
Yeah.
You know, like all these people are doing great things for the culture.
You're gonna look at them in a shady way, like, oh.
I'm saying your credibility, like you just got an asterisk next to your name, like LeBron's, dome title.
I was hoping y'all didn't bring any of those
Donald.
three guys,
Yeah.
because Atlanta is just so for the culture.
Exactly.
And Get Out was
Yo,
just
bro,
for
you gotta
us.
let people live, son. You
I
gotta let
understand,
people
but it's
live.
like
we have too much going on to be looking into people's closets right
That's
now.
That's a fact.
Like, bro,
Yeah,
let's
that's a
get
fact.
in line right
That's a
now.
fact.
Let's not worry about
That's
who
a
people
fact.
sleeping with.
That's a fact.
Like, we can't even like get our shit together. Just like
That's a fact.
baseline shit.
That's a fact.
You know?
I give you that. Every time I start thinking like, damn, bro, like I'm sure there was. As I stop, you just gotta be like, but you gotta stop and be like, why am I giving this energy? Like this dude is not worried about what I'm doing right now. Why would I be so concerned about why he? It's definitely because you're a consumer. So you want to make sure you're backing somebody who looks like you or thinks like you or felt something that you felt or has your intentions or something. So it's definitely normal to do that, but to get wrapped up in it, nah, I do agree with you. But it's definitely normal to wonder, like,
business,
damn.
bro.
But my
Mind
thing
your
is,
business.
how could you lay at night with someone who does not know your struggle?
But even with that being said, he still made a movie like Get Out. My question is not how can you lay like that.
Yeah, bro. Like you wrote that movie, and you had like, whatever. But I mean, bro, look, you can't knock people's work, bro.
Nah, his work speaks for
like,
itself.
bro, if he is, it could come out that he's a white supremacist, and we could still use that movie for the culture.
Absolutely.
We can still take it and take the benefits from it and apply what we need to and move forward with it. So it really don't, like, that's why I say it really don't matter what people doing if what they're doing is beneficial.
But also we got to look at
cause.
like how those guys came up. Like Donald Glover, his first shot, he was on what, Community? I never watched the show. It looked corny to me, but that was his audience. And then he got the technical know-how and he got
nor do I think his stand-up is funny, but
me neither. But it wasn't for you. If comedy, first of all,
like
you can't put that on him because comedy is very subjective. There could be 5 comedians and they all talk about the same thing but a different way, and it's going to attract 5 different audiences. So that's completely subjective. But what I will say is both of those dudes, because Jordan Peele was on Mad TV for a number of years. Nobody knew, nobody watched, nobody cared. I didn't because it wasn't for me. So he got what he needed to get from the business, and then he came in and he put his people on.
Gave us
that
what we
same
needed.
obligation that we was just talking about, he used. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, he wasn't for us at first, but
exactly. So I feel like
as
much as we want to have this conversation, we shouldn't.
Nah, we have to.
We will.
We have
eventually.
to. Yeah.
But let's get our shit together first.
Oh, that comes. Yeah, that
You
comes.
get what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like we like I said, we too worried about the small details. We too worried about the small details.
All right, man. Let's do this 10-minute wrap up now.
I mean, we here, man. It's November 1st. Like, what are you excited about?
September 1st.
September. Excuse me. That's how you see. That's where I want to be. Is November 1st right now, to be honest.
What am I looking forward to?
I mean, bro, it's September. It's still 90 degrees, and you got your Timbs on already. Like, I thought I was doing too much with the Yankee fitted. I thought I was like being a little too loud, you know.
My Timbs was screaming at me from the closet. I think like maybe
Like the Lion King.
like August
They were
2nd.
singing that song.
They just they've
August
been
2nd, bro. It's still. I'm sweating right now. I shouldn't. Like I was thinking about this flannel. Like,
so all right. So when was an appropriate time to bring it
October.
to October?
October.
I had to do it for the
Like
culture.
Mr.
You know,
Aubrey
when
says.
it's brick, that's when you pull them out.
So this is too soon. I prematurely
Way too soon.
Bro,
evacuated.
What's that? November 18th. How that song go? It's the one that smoke blunts with you, see your picture. Now the
Okay.
one that grab the
Okay.
girls and come and get.
Okay,
Come on,
okay,
son.
okay.
Like,
So I may have to tuck him away for a couple more weeks. All right, whatever.
bro, let the sun go down. Let us shift seasons, bro. Like I know it's September. Back in the day, you know, it was cold by
Hang
this
on.
time.
So you want to talk about footwear? You have on what? Your Lord and Savior, Kanye Jesus Christ. What's going on?
Bro,
What's up? What's up?
This man, like I said, Kanye might as well marry a white woman with his like views and all the shit he's put out in the last
You
year.
don't consider the Kardashians white?
They are right.
They are white. No, but I mean like,
Indo-Aryan.
no, I mean like Kanye might as well have married a white woman in his vocals, like the shit he said about, you know, black people and freeing slaves and all that crazy shit is just as appalling as marrying a white woman. Where he already did that,
But
so
it's-
he's doubling down.
All right.
But I'm just saying that to say that let's ignore the bullshit.
But it's
because
only
we
bullshit
need-
at this point.
We need Jesus walks. We need graduation.
He's not giving us
We
Jesus
need-
walks.
Yeah, but let's take what we have from him and just ignore him for now. Like, don't write off your geniuses because they fucked up in the game right now. Like I said, it's war and people is out to get him right now. Like, if you don't believe it, like Sony and Michael Jackson and Prince and all the wars we going through and fighting to get our like masters and all that other shit, like, and Kanye like literally putting that battle out that he's having with the fashion industry. Like, bro, everybody in America got some Yeezys on. Besides Michael Jordan, who did that? Come on, son. Besides Michael Jordan, you can't name anybody else who really like made themselves a fashion household name.
So when you look at that video of Kanye, he's in the whole entire room, and then he yells at that one single lone black woman for having her phone up, and everybody around her had her phone up. What do you think?
I think of my mom and other black mothers and that subconscious, like, let me make sure to correct my child so that the oppressor doesn't. Like, don't worry, I got this. You know, back in the day, like, in order for master
Did you
not
hear
to
how
whoop
he
this
talked to
child.
her?
Wait. In order for master not to whoop this child, I'm gonna get on his ass just to show him, like, yo, don't worry, I got this. Because, you know, you obviously not gonna ever do your child like that person would. I'm looking at it like that. Kanye's screaming out for help, bro, and we too fucking critical up front, bro. That nigga gave us enough to you know, he gave us the soundtrack for the movement.
So we
years
excuse
ago,
the
before we even needed it.
That's,
He gave us
I
the
hear
soundtrack
you. So
to
we
the fucking
excuse the
movement.
behavior because he put out some tunes.
No.
I'm not saying excuse it. Don't acknowledge it. Bro, a wise man once said nothing at all. Leave that shit alone. Don't give it the energy. Don't talk about it on your fucking podcast. You know, but, you know, we don't need it right now. Because we just feed into negativity. Like, that's what's popping on the Shade Room. That's what's going to get us, you know. That's what's going to be the most watched and attentive part of the interview when we talk about a whole bunch of other great shit, you know?
Okay. Let's get a little gossipy. How do you feel about WAP? Ooh. How
WAP?
do you feel about WAP?
WAP or
I
WAP?
don't like that song.
Why not? What?
It's not even because, like, I'm all about pro-woman, pro-fem, all that, but that song was just terrible.
The song is
Wait.
trash.
Let her. I need a woman's. I need this, bro.
Yeah,
Okay.
I need
If she
y'all to-
disagrees on top of that, like that's crazy. This is the first time
You
I've
will
heard
not
this.
catch me bumping that in the club at all. Like,
I listened to it just now on my way over here.
I
I was
don't-
singing it unedited.
If Eazy-E wrote that song, it would have went just as good. Because I expect it from a dude. Like, not to say that the whole feminism movement and all that shit shouldn't be a thing, but the mantra in it, it's some hoes in this house. Like, keep the title, keep everything else. It's some hoes in this. It was too much for me.
I
son.
took it as how we use the N-word. It's they taking the
Listen,
the
they
sting
want us
away
to take
from it.
bitches and hoes out of our shit. And y'all
never.
taking this shit and running with it.
Never.
Yeah, but whatever.
I'm sorry.
We're gonna leave it at that.
As a black, I'm never not. You know what? That's
Shout out the Future.
oh.
Shout out the Future.
Yo, we got Future. Y'all got Summer Walker and now Meg and Cardi's kind of preaching that even though she's not really living
I
it.
just feel like that song was unnecessary.
Well, we're gonna talk about music on another note. I appreciate it. we really covered some great topics today.
Definitely, I appreciate it. Thank you
song
for
is
coming
not
out.
it.
Of course. Thank you for coming out. Definitely appreciate it.
Yeah, you're gonna be a reoccurring guest. You'll stay in the back. But yeah, man, Chess Moves. This is episode one, first of many. I appreciate y'all for tuning in.
Yeah, man. Next time.
We gotta drop our handles. Make sure to follow me on Instagram at AlmightyISH. That's 2 underscores. Almighty__ish. It's gonna look like I'm your close friend too, because I put that green circle on there. Marketing, baby.
Follow me at Intensity Media. That is the photography and production line. Stay tuned. We got some good stuff coming.
Detroit Police Chief James Craig says the death of George Floyd was murder.
At a press conference this afternoon, the chief shared what he feels needs to be done with the Minneapolis officer who put his knee on Floyd's neck. Larry Spruill talked to Chief Craig, and Larry...